How's it going today, guys and gals, boys and girls, children of all ages, races, and sizes? Babe, are you one of the children of all ages, races, and sizes?
You tell me.
Well,
All sizes? Yeah, I'm all sizes.
you're all sizes. We're bundled up. We're bundled up here probably a little bit more than I need to be, but CP doesn't like cold weather, so she's got extra layers on. Makes her look like she's big, but she ain't. Makes it look like you're big with all those extra layers, but you're not. You feel big?
I'm nice and warm.
You're nice and warm, but you feel like a beluga?
Yeah, you could probably roll me. You see me on the snowbank.
What the hell are we doing? Well, we got the heater, the Heat Star 140,000 BTU blowing on the air compressor. I was going to say the AC. Well, I guess it is an AC. It's an air compressor. The door is wide open to allow sunlight in. The air compressor is for the press, and we have started cutting steel for calf shelters, or as some guys might call them, oversized calf hutch. So this calf shelter is 10 feet deep, 15 feet long. We've got our two 15-footers cut, and I've got two 18-footers cut. And why the hell are these 18 feet? Well, it's simple. These two bigger pieces, that's 2 7/8 oil field pipe. Those are going to be the very bottom that ride on the ground. That's the skid. Everything else is 2 3/8. CP's cutting the 6-footers. That's the front wall. The 5-footers are done already. And we got to cut 3 more 10-foot, 1.5 inch for the roof line. So, yeah, she's coming together. This is stage 1 of a calf shelter. And who knows, if I'm not too busy talking to you guys, I might actually get a little bit of welding done yet today.
Done, eh?
Pardon?
Might get something done.
I might get something done if I don't do too much talking on the phone, on the camera, right? Listen here, you. Everybody needs to know how to build one of these. I don't care if you even live in the city.
Well,
you need
I
to
better
know.
show them how.
You better show them how. Well, why don't you then? Even if you live in the city, if you got a garage and a welder, you need to be building these things for all of us ranchers that don't have the capability of building one. There, how's that sound? But don't be an asshole and overcharge for it like lots of guys do.
Like you.
What the fuck?
I'll give you a better deal.
You get it from CP, you're gonna pay dearly.
It'll be pretty though.
Oh, listen to this. It'll hold together. Oh, you think you could do better? Well, there's the welder, there's the helmet. If you can see the line.
It won't take out your horse crop.
Oh, you're only going to make it 2 feet tall so the wind blows over top.
No, it's not going to have slabs.
No, it won't have slabs. We're putting a solid wall in the back. It'll all be metal cladded, the whole building. We're not doing a slabbed wall like we did on that other one. Anyway, I got to get to work at pressing. The press in our shop is an air over hydraulic 30-ton. It works pretty good. It's not super fast, but it works. And that's all that matters, right? So we're going to keep rocking and rolling at pressing steel and cutting steel. And we'll bring you guys back a little bit later. Alrighty, guys. So this is the front wall. So when you go to build one of these darn things, general rule of thumb is on anywhere from 8, 10, and 12 foot deep. So when I say deep, I mean from the front wall, which is this steel framework right here, this would be the front. And then from here back to the back wall. That's what I mean by deep, for anyone that doesn't know. But general rule of thumb, for, like I said, anywhere from 10 or 8, 10, 12, you could probably get away with even 14. It'll just make the roof line shallower. But what I do is 1 foot difference. So on this particular unit, we're going 6 feet high on the front wall and 5 feet high on the back wall. That's inside framework. So when I say inside framework, I mean from the top of this pipe to the bottom of this pipe. So this piece of steel right here, this one, the one in the middle, and the one on the end, they're 6 feet long. On the back wall, they're 5 feet long. So that gives us a 12-inch drop from front to back for snow runoff and rain runoff. What else can I tell you? Oh yes, this one has angle irons welded for wood strapping on the front wall. Half of the front wall is going to get closed in. Lots of guys don't close the front half of their calf shelters in, but because of the wind and snow that we generally get, I started doing that, and it seems to be working pretty well for us. We just use a 2x4 strapping. So we just put an angle iron clip on, 1 bolt, drill a hole through. You guys, lots of you guys would have seen me do this before. So top, 2.5 feet up from the bottom, 2.5 feet on center, and then again at the very bottom. So this wall is done. I need to get it the hell out of the road. And now we can start on the back wall. The steel's all laying on the floor over there. And then we'll do the cross members. And they're all cut and laying on the floor over here. 10 foot and 10 foot 1.5 inches. Those 3 are for the rooftop. And these 2 are for 6 inches up off the ground. And I'll explain that later. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Oh yes, before I let you go, actually, I'm going 6 feet high. Lots of guys go on the front wall, and 5 feet on the back wall is what I'm going. Lots of guys go 5 feet high on the front wall and 4 feet on the back wall. It is baby calves that are going in here, but if you yourself has to get in there and there's a little bit of manure, straw buildup, blah, 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 before you know it, if that calf is laying against the back wall, you're on your hands and knees trying to work with the calf. That shelter out there that the piggies have, it's actually a calf shelter. We put tin on the back wall, and we nailed slabs on the 2 end walls and half of the front wall. But anyways, with that shelter in particular, that sumbitch is 5 feet on the front, 4 feet on the back, and it's at the point where we can't walk in it. We're on our hands and knees. When we put straw in there for the piggies, we are on our hands and knees. It's a pain in the ass. And so, mind you, there's probably, well, there is a lot of manure and everything else on the inside of it, but because they've been in it ever since we've had them. So it's done well in that regard. But at least this way, with this one, we'll be able to stand up in it comfortably, and we're not smacking our heads in the rooftop. I myself, at the very front, I'll be okay. But if I'm at the back wall, I better watch it, because I will smack my head in it still. At 5'8", I'm not that tall, but tall enough to smack my brain. Anyways, I'm going to get this moved over a little bit, and then we will start welding up the back wall. Talk to you guys later. And yeah, CP's not here. She went to the barn to do a barn check. So, like again, talk to you guys later.
Did you give the pigs water today?
Yeah, I gave the piggies a pail of water today. We gotta give them another one yet this afternoon. Alrighty guys, well, there it be. So we're 10 feet here. This rail, because of the angle, is a little bit longer. It's actually 10 feet 1.5 inches long is what this top one is. These top three, that's what they are. So there she is. She's the hardest part is done, actually. Now, generally, I lay my 2x4s. I used to build them with the 2x4s on edge for the roof, and I would put an angle iron bracket up here and then bolt the 2x4 in this way. And then I said, that's a fuck of a lot of welding, those little angle iron brackets, especially on the roof every 2 feet. So now what I do is a flat bar, weld it in the top with a hole in it, and then in the middle one here, it's a longer bar, and it gets welded on both sides, and there's a hole to grab. In this case, it's only going to be one piece, but normally if there were 20 footers, I would run with 2 10s, and the 10 footers would hit right in the middle. So, but in this case, we're a 16 footer will cover the roof. So we'll have a flat bar on the roof, and the 2x4s lay flat on top of these rails. This one, I don't know, 7 feet, 10 feet deep, and it's basically 7.5 feet because it's 15 feet long. So from center point to end, it's 7.5 feet, like from center point of this rail right there to the corner there. Are we going to end up with too much dip in our 2x4s? I don't know. So what I was just thinking, I'm going to take a chunk of 1.75 inches or 1.25 inches square and put it basically in the middle from there and bring it across to here. And that'll take some of the sag out of the 2x4 if you get snow load on there, right? So yeah, so we still have a shitload of fucking work to do on it. We got to put our angle iron clips for all our strapping on our walls in. We've got the clips in for the front wall, but that's it. The most important walls are the end walls and the back wall. So, and because it's so short, like 15 foot of building, there is a reason why we went 15 and not 16, guys. What's the reason? Well, our metal cladding is 3 foot coverage. So theoretically, on the back wall, we need 5 pieces at 5 feet high and 5 pieces because it's 3 foot coverage. 5 pieces should cover the back wall. On the side walls, it's 10 feet. So that's 3, 6, 9, and I'll have a 1 foot piece that we got to put on for the end walls. She's just about a square box, realistically, but that gives you a gist of our roof line with our 12-inch drop, 6 foot up here to 5 foot there. Down here, this rail on the end, the cross member, is 6 inches off the ground on this end and the other end. And so, yep, she's coming along. If I have to, I could actually pull this thing out of the shop right now and then bring it back in at a later date to finish it off. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. For now, this is calf shelter how to build her yourself. What is that? DIY? Do it yourself? Or DIY? Do it yourself calf shelter build. So you got all the measurements. I just gave them to you. You need 3 6-foot pieces, 3 5-foot pieces, 3 pieces, 10 foot 1.5 inches, 1 2 3 for the roof line, 2 pieces 10 feet exactly, 1 on each end for the bottom cross members, 2 pieces at 15 feet, 1 across the front here, 1 across the back over there. And you don't have to go 18 feet on the bottom. I did. You can go 17 feet. This is for cutting a skid, and I'll show that at the end. We'll cut a skid in there yet. But I went 18, and you need 2 pieces of that, either 17 or 18 feet for the bottom. So it's not a lot. And then for the walls, the 2 end walls and the back wall, you need 24 pieces of angle or flat bar with a hole drilled in it for all your strapping. And this is only like 3 inch, 3.5 inch, something like that is all it is. We're using angle because right now that's what we have in stock. I've got a little bit of flat bar that we'll use on the roof, but anyways. And then on the roof, you need, if we go every 2 feet for our roof, that'd be 5, 15, 16, 17, about 18 pieces of flat bar for the roof. And I use 3/8 bolts on everything, guys. I don't use 5/16. 5/16 too light. So those are all the pieces that you need to build one of these. And that's how much product you would need. The only thing different, if you wanted to go longer, you just make it longer. But your up and downs, are basically exactly what I just gave you guys. Your clips would be exactly what I gave you. If you're making it 20 feet, or better yet, 24 or 30 feet, 20 feet, you can get away with just 1 up and down in the middle. But if you're going 24 or 30 feet long, especially in the back wall, I would suggest 2 up and down pieces. Supports for the basically you would call them studding. So like you got the corner one right there and right there. Well, if you were like 24 or 30 feet long, I would suggest maybe going with 2 of those in the middle. Just space them out more, right? Or you could get away with 1 in the middle, but you might consider putting an angle on, some kind of a gusset brace from here coming across to here to support that length, because now it's going to be 15 feet from the end to here if you're 30 feet long, right? Anywho, I'm going for a coffee. I'm going to let you guys go. We'll talk to you all later.